Hi everyone. So this is the second video for Proverbs 31. I'm going to be looking at verses 10 through 18. I highlighted ahead, so we'll be talking about some stuff in the next video, stuff that I highlighted. So I guess here there's 2 points I'm going to introduce, but I'm going to go ahead and read it. It says, a wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings she plants a vineyard. She sets out about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. And then it says, she sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. So, so the different colors denote the different points, and I guess there's gonna. So I'm introduced 2 in this video, and then 1 in the next video. And you will see how certain themes are repeated. And so you'll see, like down here, you see some more pink, some more green, some more yellow. But let's start with the yellow. This is verse 12. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. That to me speaks to that to me speaks to the character of the woman. And let me say this. Some of this isn't really he's specifically talking about a wife here, but these are the same characteristics that you should also expect to find in a man. Now, the Bible says that the woman is God called the woman a helper, and so in that sense, there are certain characteristics that are specifically required, for women who are to successfully fill that role. And so, that's important. But at the same time, men are supposed to embody a lot of those characteristics as well. And so when we look at verse 12, what that means, it not only means that those good characteristics are present, but it means overall, when you talk about what it means to bring good and not harm, to me that means it's not going to be a whole lot of conflict, right? It's not going to be a whole lot of problems. There's going to be peace in that home. Why? Because this particular individual is destined for you. So whoever God has for you, for the gentleman, whoever God has for you, God said that whoever God has for you, if you yield yourself to him in that particular area, then your wife is going to bring you good, not harm, all the days of your life. That's what that means. And the same is true for a female. Your husband is supposed to bring you good and not harm all the days of your life. And so that speaks to a designation, right? There is somebody for you who is going to be your verse 12. Because see, that means you can't apply that verse to everyone. Somebody's might not bring this man good and not harm, right? They might bring harm. So that's why it depends on who God has for you specifically. Because if you don't end up marrying who God has for you, then you're not going to be able to say verse 12. And so I'll put it this way. And you'll know what that means, right? You'll know exactly what that means, because perhaps God will give you a glimpse into, perhaps He will allow you to make a mistake, and so you'll be able to see how it's a night and day difference between the person who was not who God had for you and the person who is who God had for you. All right, and so the next point I'm gonna look at is, actually no, not that one. I'm gonna look at verse 15. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. And what I actually recognize here, and looking at this verse, is that there's actually 2 points. This could be green and purple, because so the green point, particularly the first 2 lines of that verse, is the theme there is that, let me see, let me get a color here. He, she, your spouse is going to provide for your family. Now, we don't know, everybody's situation is different. So that doesn't mean that your wife, for the gentleman, that your wife is supposed to be a stay-at-home mom, and that she's or that she's supposed to do all the cooking and all the, you know what I'm saying? That's not what that means. It means that there's going to be a sense of responsibility in her that says, yep, I am taking care of these kids, right? Whether it be the mother or the father, whoever, and they're gonna share, responsibility in having those children. But there's whoever your person is that God has for you, that individual is going to care about the children that y'all create. That's what that means. And I'll introduce the last point, which I think is in that 3rd line. It says, "And portions for her female servants." She doesn't have to. Technically, she doesn't have to do that, right? It's common for people to have servants back then if you were of a certain status in society and whatnot. But you are caring. That person is going to be caring. She has a heart for the less fortunate. And that can mean a whole lot of different things. Doesn't have to mean a servant. It can be anybody. She has a heart for other people.